What's going on, Flicks Talkers? Welcome back to another movie review, this time for the film The Banker. But before I get into the synopsis, who it stars, make sure you guys are hitting that thumbs up if you guys do appreciate movie content like this, and hit that subscribe and bell notification for more movie-related news and reviews. In the 1960s, two African-American entrepreneurs hire a working-class white man to pretend to be the head of their business empire while they pose as a janitor and chauffeur. Alright guys, now this film was directed by George Nofai, and he also directed Birth of a Dragon, which was kind of like the biopic of Bruce Lee. I did not catch it, but that is the only other credit as far as a major motion debut that I could find. Other than that, it was shorts and some TV episodes. He does have a couple of writer and screen credits on like The Bourne Ultimatum, as well as writing for Ocean's 12. And this film does star Anthony Mackie, Samuel L. Jackson, Nia Long, and Nicholas Hoult. Now right off the bat guys, I believe this is the third full feature film from Apple, an Apple original. Mainly they started off just with a slew last year of shows, whether that be a half an hour long, an hour long. They were just putting out original content, and this is kind of the third in their roster. I believe the first two came out last year, but whoa, for being their third release as far as a movie goes, this was solid. This was major motion picture stuff. Everything looked great. It was a timepiece. It starts off in the 30s when it shows young Anthony Mackie's character as a child, and then it kind of jumps forward 20 years to 1950, and then in the 60s as well. So everything was just perfect looking to that era, guys, as far as the cars, the buildings, the attire, the clothing that they all wore, as far as the mannerisms. So this movie deals with a lot of segregation, a lot of racism, a lot of bigotry, and it really makes you think and appreciate how far we've come. Even though a lot of that stuff still does exist, it was a lot more prevalent and kind of in your face if you were a minority back in the 50s. Now, a huge like for me for this movie was definitely the acting. I mean, all of these stars were superb. I mean, you got Nicholas Hoult, who was in the X-Men movies as Beast. He did a wonderful job in this as the white face, kind of like in the forefront, making all these deals while he was being trained to be a real estate and banker and numbers guy. There was so many numbers being thrown at this guy, and he learned, from Samuel L. Jackson's character and Anthony Mackie's character in just 3 short months. And you got to see that these guys were a dynamic trio. And I forgot to mention, this is based on true events. Also, a notable standout was Nia Long. She did kind of play the background, but towards the middle of the movie, she did play a pivotal plot point. She was the wife of Anthony Mackie's character, Joe Morris, and I thought she did an amazing job. I haven't seen her in too many standout movies since like the early 2000s, maybe late 90s, if I'm being completely honest. She's usually a side character or just kind of these straight-to-DVD type of films, but it was good really seeing her. She hasn't aged too much, so it's kind of great seeing her like kind of in the forefront of this movie, because I thought she did add a lot to it and a woman's perspective to what was going on, not only in these times of segregation and racism, but also the side where women were not equal to men, so they were looked down upon, or they could only be secretaries or certain jobs. But it was cool that she really believed in her husband so much. She stood by his side. She thought he was a brilliant, exceptional man, and that was really cool to see that loving bond between those two, and they really played a power couple, so to speak, in the film. Now, Samuel L. Jackson, as usual, is a phenomenal actor. I mean, he played a real hard ass, especially in the beginning of the interaction between him and Anthony Mackie. I mean, they're obviously shown on the poster of this film, guys. You guys will see it right there. But it didn't start off buddy-buddy. At first, they actually did really kind of hate each other, and they were really on different spectrums, but they kind of grew to work together, and they ended up making a good duo. Now, another cool side character who you see a glimpse of for a little bit in the beginning of the film was Cole Meany. He played Patrick Barker. He was someone that was also an investor and someone that went in and really trusted Anthony Mackie's character, and I thought they had a cool bond for a while going on before he meets Samuel L. Jackson. So it was cool, all these little side characters, because I really haven't seen him since like Con Air, Under Siege, a lot of these 90s movies. So it was really good seeing him on screen once again. Even if it was the comfort of my own home, I thought he did a great job. Doesn't have to work on his acting chops. He has it perfected. Same as Samuel L. Jackson. So it was a good cast of just people all stacked up. And it seems like they were all trying to fight for the common good as far as ending segregation generation when it came to giving out loans to black folks. And Anthony Mackie was really on the forefront, really pushing for that. And even at the end of the movie, Samuel L. Jackson calls him a revolutionary. And there's an awesome scene at the end of this film where Anthony Mackie gives a cool speech, and I just loved it through and through. I gotta give this movie, guys, a 5 out of 5, saying it really surprised me for being a straight to in-your-home Apple original type of movie. Come on, keep them coming, man. Get those good directors, get the actors on board, come with these cool stories, you know, of people overcoming, persevering, just all this hatred and bigotry, racism and all that. It was a great story, and I can't believe it was true. So for that, I gotta give it the score that it deserves, and I think you guys will appreciate this if you guys give it a watch. Now, I can't forget Nicholas Hoult as Matt. He was someone that was really perfect for that role. I mean, when we first get introduced to him, he's someone that is just a warehouse worker. He doesn't know too much. He seems like a sweet, innocent guy, and he kind of gets along with everybody. So it was really cool seeing his character just kind of fit like a puzzle when it came to him, Anthony Mackie, and Samuel L. Jackson. I thought they all worked well towards each other. The acting was very believable. There's certain situations that you're like, oh man, how is he going to get out of this one? And I loved it. I love the outcome of this movie. Unfortunately, some bad things happen at the end. I mean, I don't love that, but it's just crazy to see the roller coaster of things that actually did happen. And I definitely think you guys should check this one out if you guys can today. All right, guys, that's my review on The Banker. If you guys did appreciate my review on this, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe and bell notification for more content like this. All right, till next review, I'm gone, guys. Peace.